A very good evening to you, and thanks for your time. So tell us about this project. What was the thought behind it?
Well, I was inspired by some projects from overseas, one from the UK and one from the USA, where people were doing similar things. And one of the project leaders from USA was in South Africa, and she said, no, she would love if we had a similar thing. And I thought, no, we can't do it here. You know, how can we manage this? And then I thought, why not? I'd never been in prison in my life, but I thought, let's try it. And a year and a half later, there we were with Stellenbosch students and students from Brandvlei in the same classroom studying an interdisciplinary short course.
Okay, so tell us how this worked now. Did the prisoners come to university? Did the university students go to prison? And was it weekly or daily? How exactly? Just the practicalities of it.
It was the university students that had to go to prison because, of course, the prison students couldn't leave.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
And we had a session, we had 14 sessions in total. Each one was 3 hours. And we'd go in on a Thursday morning and we'd have a session from 10 to 1. And we had 4 different disciplines. We had history, we had economics, we had literature, and we had law. And each lecturer engaged with the students for 9 hours. And everybody was in the class together. And the whole style of learning was very collaborative. You know, we were all learning together from each other. It wasn't like a lecturer was standing up there and sort of giving all the information. We were all learning together.
Okay, so what did you see, apart from learning together, who benefited? I mean, it can't only have been the prisoners, you know, having this kind of setting to learn. So I'm sure that the students themselves learnt a lot from this experience.
It was absolutely wonderful. Everybody benefited. I mean, I can just say for myself, I learned so much. It was a wonderful classroom environment. You know, on university campus, I'm often in front of 300 students. You know, that human aspect of education we often miss out on. And that was absolutely there. And the university students as well. It's really beneficial for people to be confronted by people from different backgrounds with different ideas, you know, sort of get a different perspective on the world. And I think that applied to us all.
So what happens now after this experience, Mary? What do these prisoners go on to do?
Well, they now have a competence course from Stellenbosch, so they have a qualification. Many of them are still going to be incarcerated for a while. This was a pilot project, so the people we were working with in prison are already studying through UNISA. So they've already shown themselves to be interested in higher education, and they're carrying on with their degrees, most of them. And I mean, it was just so great to have the fact that we have created a network now. So once people get released, they have support. They have almost this community of academics, of friends that they can rely on, you know, and that gives everybody hope to be treated as a human being and to have somebody looking out for them on the outside as well as on the inside.
So I see here that you have things like moot courts where you wrote legal arguments and they were presented as well. So, you know, I'd be very interested to know, with the prisoners already being on the inside, whether they had any kind of unusual, unexpected thoughts, reactions to things that you saw during this fake court process.
Yeah, that was very interesting. It was part of my section of the course because I lecture law. And everybody was wearing gowns. I brought gowns. And the arguments, you know, we were arguing a constitutional issue as well as a criminal law issue. And, I mean, there was one particular prison student who wiped the floor with everybody else. He was just so good. And there were, and some of the prisoners and also me were acting as judges. So it was just a great event. So we had judges, we had the counsel, we had the written arguments. You know, it was just a really lovely atmosphere and a very good learning experience for all concerned.
So was this a once-off, or you plan on doing this more often?
We're definitely going to carry on. And we always decide on the theme of the course in collaboration with the people participating. And in our last session of this course, we were trying to brainstorm about what we want to do next year. And we've decided to have a gender focus for next year.
Very interesting. I'd be very interested in the feedback from that. Thank you very much, Mary. And that's Mary Nell. She is the academic director of this program called the Ubuntu Learning Short Course, which partnered students and prisoners